Holy shit, the intro worked this time.
Yay!
Wow.
It froze last time, motherfuckers, but we're back. With a very special, very low-key
We're doing
Bob
the
Rossian episode.
I was going to say this is the
Yay, Bob Ross.
I think I put that in the title. Oh, watch Cory and Punk channel. They're in, or Bob Ross.
Oh, we're doing some happy clouds for sure.
Oh, yeah.
some happy mistakes.
Yes.
Just a happy little mistake right over here. Just gonna put a tree and give that tree a friend because everybody needs a friend.
We're just going to turn that mistake into a mountain.
Most
But
of
yeah-
my mistakes are mountains.
Yeah, for everybody tuning in, this is gonna be a little bit of a different episode. This one's probably not even gonna go up on SoundCloud just because it's gonna be so video oriented.
We can
But,
talk. We can talk and draw at the same
Yeah,
time. For
explain
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Sometimes.
Yeah, no, when we were
Braden-
doing the when I was kind of typing everything out, I
Hello
figured
from
that
Southern Front.
Oh
this
yeah,
would be a good opportunity if anybody has any questions to ask, because a lot of us off the show, we all do our own little separate thing, and a lot of us, are pretty good at it. So
basically immediately in chat, Braden, we love you too. Canada's awesome.
Nice.
James Hurst says hello from Southern Front 3. If people didn't know, American Milsim is doing Southern Front 3 at D14 Airsoft. It is 45 minutes from me, but I'm too lazy to drive out there because I'm tired and I've got a new baby, man.
All
yeah,
right, fair.
I ain't got time for this shit.
Always.
He's adorable.
now that you've
Hey, what's up,
established
Timothy?
yourself, now that you've established that you have a gun wall behind you,
Do you like that shit?
Looks
I
good.
painted that.
that means
That fucking hideous thing.
that means you can't actually airsoft now. Like that
Yeah.
means that it's
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a tactical wall?
No, so it's like it was like $150 on Amazon.
Is
It's
that
it's a total piece of shit.
But it
It's-
looks good. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah, it looks dope from a distance, but
Is
it's a piece
slot
of crap.
wall?
Yeah, slat wall. It's plastic or like polymer or whatever. And I had to like cut it to like so it would fit on the wall. And I had to mount. It's mounted to studs like the whole way up in like 4 different places. And I'm still convinced it's gonna fucking fall down at some point.
Yeah.
And you can't see it right now, but if you look all the way up to the top, but
Nice.
Nice faded shout out.
yeah. Oh, he's got shout outs all over. He gets enough goddamn shout outs.
He
Fuck
does.
that kid.
Yeah, he's getting a little too big for his britches. We need to bring him down a notch.
I swear. Yeah, we gotta humble that boy a little bit. But back to the art. What's the plan here, guys? Do you want to have the chat request you guys draw shit, or are you gonna start drawing some shit you've been working on, or are you gonna
I don't care either way. I mean, I'm probably gonna biff it because it's live. But they can do whatever they want. If they have suggestions, we could always do the 1 minute drawings. Those are always pretty,
Oh God, that'd be awesome.
dude. Those
Brandon
are always
Wilbanks,
pretty funny.
heading to Southern Front 3. Nice, dude. What's up, Brandon? He's gonna take some fucking sweet pictures this weekend.
Or we can just doodle. I really don't care.
Doodle. So I guess let's get the airsoft related shit out of the way. We already talked about Southern Front 3s at D14 Airsoft this weekend. Fucking, if you're going, dope. If you're not, you should have. I don't know. One thing from Southern Front 3 though is Fat Kid, the guy who made that dope little MCX there. He's going to be there. He's on site. He's actually selling guns on site, like building custom gats for people, which is really cool. He's got he came down with like, I guess, crates of parts, and he's putting fucking tier builds together, which is badass.
That's cool.
Yeah, his build quality is excellent, and I'm really kind of upset that I'm not going to get to go by and say hi to him this weekend. But
I was actually
Yes.
supposed to be sending my gun up there to be worked on, and because he's got to do some updates to it, and then I totally forgot. So
Will Lightsea has got our first request. Says, draw your favorite airsoft event promoter a new logo.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get it. So okay, I'm actually working on four different things right now. And one of them's for like Monk Customs. Another one is for another like cross animal hybrid thing.
Oh,
But,
you mean like the
Octonid.
Octonid? Look at that motherfucker.
That is
Yeah.
sick.
God, that thing's badass.
so those things actually turned out like those kinds of exceeded my expectations. We were working on those for about like weeks, going back and forth between the patch the people who make the patches.
Which is Project Manicore, which is our boy Timmy Tambers.
Yeah. So Helix Airsoft, now Project Manticore, he's doing his own patches now, and they're phenomenal. So like this was kind of the inaugural run for both PVC and embroidered, and they turned out really well. I still haven't seen them, so like the stuff that you I've seen online is I don't have them.
Yeah, the embroidered's really cool just because of the reflective nature of the stitching. Given that, like, because that's the biggest thing is it looks different any way the light hits it or every way the light hits it.
Yeah,
because of the different like depth to it, I guess. I actually really like I normally am not a big fan of stitched patches, and I really, really like that. Project Manticore absolutely killed it. They made a bunch of the other shit that's on my fridge back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been working his ass off. So
They're what, $45 for both, or did you sell all it already?
Oh no, there's still plenty. So if you go over to etsy.com/shop/Project Manticore, you can go over there. You can pick up the PVC. You can pick up the embroidery. You can buy the combo pack. So
That's cool.
Nice.
So
What you draw on there, Corey?
Just a little skull is what I got going on right now.
This
is
skull.
So my process, and I'm pretty sure that Punk has the same one, is you go in with like a rough sketch first. I don't know if you can blow my screen up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cole,
Yeah.
make his bigger, please.
But I just go in with a really, really rough sketch, and there's some good cheats for like iPad on Procreate, like the isometric thing or the symmetry tool is phenomenal, especially like when you're trying to do stuff like patches and stuff that really need to be symmetrical. Like it's a really, really good cheat.
So the Ocnid design actually can be directly attributed to that symmetrical. Like if you need to get like the same on both sides,
there's features to copy and paste like for symmetrical art, is what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's like if I make a mark over here, you get it over here too.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So as long as I'm drawing right down the center, I'm essentially getting the same image on both sides.
And not only, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it just makes it real easy. Like I said, especially when you're doing like patches and stuff, man, to just keep it all, I don't know. It gives you a really good rough outline. You can go in and you can remove that feature, like once you have that layer done, and then you can start kind of changing things up, but it gives you something really good to kind of work your line art on.
Yeah, it's nice too because you can apply it to different layers that you're working with. So if like your main overall thing that you need to have is symmetric, then if you want to go in and kind of add things to make it asymmetric on one side or the other to kind of like break up how clean it looks, then you would do that.
So also, I've seen that like when Corey posts his sketch videos, that basically you'll draw like a sketch and then come over with hard lines to like define true edges for something that's a lot more cleaner. And I feel like that's a pretty basic, just artist routine. No matter if you're doing it on Procreate or even pen and paper, like you'll do a pencil sketch and then come over with like a black marker or pen to like define more lines.
Yeah. Right. So like what I would do now, like if this is going to be like my basic, just kind of underlying thing, I'm going to kind of trace around. I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to come in here and drop the opacity down. So that's actually what I'm tracing over. And you've probably, if you've ever watched anybody work, you've seen it done a million times, but I've never really done it. I started doing it this past year, and it's like, it
helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Procreate does a really good job of making you look like you're a better artist than you probably are.
Yeah,
and that's what I need to experiment with, because for me to actually do like pen to paper stuff or even stuff like this it's probably been 10 years. So I would be interested in doing it again, but it's the initial cost of like the setup to get an iPad with Procreate and the right tools. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's terribly expensive to get back into.
No, and man, I'll tell you what, I'm not an Apple guy at all, but the iPad Pro is probably the best tablet for an artist right now. Like they're just so ridiculously good.
Huh.
So I mean, I admittedly, I don't. I need to practice myself. I need to practice more of what you're doing, the sketching out part, because my basically what I end up doing is I have the overall concept in my head, but when it comes to directions, because I don't practice the same way that Cory does, I basically have to go on Pinterest or on the internet and grab reference photos until my brain can piece together what I'm thinking. Like
that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, but it's extremely time consuming. So like right now, Cory has already got his rough sketch. Mind you, he's probably drawn skulls quite a bit.
Too many times, yeah.
Yeah,
so many skulls.
I mean, if you look at his clientele, like they usually are like, yeah, so a skull but with tactical gear on it, and he's like, "Got you, fam." And
ooh, something new.
Yeah, right. And so like
bold today, are we?
Yeah. Wow. No, but like so he's got the practice in, and if you guys are watching it right now, his example right now is a great reference as to like what you should be doing. Whereas mine, like I'll spend days, and it's kind of like my same process when I'm trying to find music for a video. I'll spend days, almost a week, to like find the right music that like fits it perfect. But like once I have it, I've got it, and then I can work from there. So,
Cory, I have a question.
We need like a reference point, is all.
Yeah, and so basically, and I also do a lot of the same like cheat techniques that tattoo artists will do. Is I'll pull in like certain things of an image that I like. And then I'll trace pieces that I'm like, okay, that stands out, and kind of like piece together a thing. And then that's the way my brain works. I wish I have it, the time to train it properly to draw and sketch how you're, to do it the right way. But
yeah,
Cory, can you do me a favor, and can you like create like a brush or like a stroke to like, how did you get to the point where like you set up your layer to the point where you're happy with the line that it's creating? If you could do that at some point.
So I'll tell you, this is probably where I'm a scrub. I don't go and really mess with the workspace at all, and I don't create my own brushes like ever, or my own strokes.
Yeah.
What I will do is like I like to use a thicker brush, like because if you drop this all the way down, I mean it's extremely fine, which for like patching and line art and stuff like that, it's not great. So I kind of over exaggerate it and then just lighten my stroke, because now what I can do is kind of get that I don't even know what you would call it, but I can get that thick line and I can control it, and then I can loosen it up to kind of get that sharp little edge that looks real good.
Wow.
So, to me, it looks better when you do it that way. I don't know. Like I'm in no way, shape, or form qualified to be like a technical advisor when it comes to this stuff, but
so it looks like a lot of the brush stroke itself, though, to create it smoother is just basically its sensitivity on how thick the line is as well. Because I mean, even with the pen, it looks like you have very easy control of how hard you push to create the smoothness of the line and how thick it is, obviously.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just over time you'll kind of figure it out. But a lot of it's like speed. So, if you do it quick, you get a different looking line. If you do it slow, I mean, this thing is so sensitive. It'll pick up, like right now, I've probably had too many energy drinks today. Like you can kind of tell, you get those jittery lines. So, I mean, it's just something that you have to feel, and, you practice over time. And the more you do it, the more you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And like the other cool feature that it has is with Procreate, because I use the same thing. Cory and I bounce back and forth with like what kind of equipment we prefer. But the cool thing about Procreate is that like if you take if you see in the right hand on his drawing hand right now, like if he uses two fingers to tap the screen, and basically what that does is that's the undo button.
Okay.
You take three fingers and it's the redo button. So like if you go too far, you take three fingers and it takes you back to where you were.
Gotcha.
Shit, I kind of lost what we were talking about shortly before.
Redo, just more that
redo, two fingers, three fingers.
Oh, we're kind of talking
about functions of Procreate.
The workflow and
I'm trying to see. So right now, like I'm trying to go off of what what the question was is about recreate the logo for your favorite event hosts, and I don't.
Well, I have a question when it comes to like recreating a logo. So like obviously as Cory draws more of this out, say Cory, for example, like with how much detail this is turning out to be, like it's going to be good for like what I call a web version of what you're drawing, right? It has a lot of detail, you can see everything, but then what you would do to like simplify a drawing once you have it more finished so that you could make it more maybe into like a patch design, or something that is more printable so that doesn't have as much detail into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what I'll do is, like, I have these layers, right? So I can turn these layers on and off. Like we just dropped out our little layer we're tracing over. I can take this hard outline here, just the black and white, like before I go in and I color it and everything. And I'll use that. I'll drop it into Corel, which is the program I use because I'm old school. I don't use Illustrator. And I'll drop it in and I'll retrace it, essentially turning it into a vectored image. And that makes it real easy to manipulate like colors and fills and lines and stuff like that. And that's normally what I'll send to the client. I won't send them like the like high res JPEG, which is essentially what this is, I think, once it's exported out. I'll create a vector, and that vector you can control how much detail is maintained when you trace it out. And obviously, I mean, patches nowadays, like honestly, pretty much everything I've put on here so far would show up in a patch.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
especially PVC. PVC is really good for detail.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So
yeah, embroidered's a little bit harder, especially with like the fine detailed lines like around the nose and the dots and things like that. That makes sense.
Yeah. So when you're doing embroidery, definitely to dumb down your image is going to help you out.
Yes.
Brandon's asking, what do you guys think is a good price point to pay someone to create or revamp a logo design?
I think it depends a lot on the artist, like what their natural ability and talent and through their portfolio is, Brandon. Like for example, my portfolio price is going to be a lot different from like Cory's or Eric's. That it's the same with video, right? So like you're paying for the experience of the artist. So like again, same thing for video. It's like for a certain video at a certain quality, I charge a certain more for work that's a lot easier to do, even though the quality is going to be similar, but you'll still notice because it's just the amount of effort that goes little into a project. I feel like a lot of artists usually rate it off of time and how much like rework or where is it going with this? How much rework is into a project, or because I know I have video projects where it's like, okay, if somebody's asking me for recuts past like the fourth and fifth render, I'm gonna be like, hey, well, if you want me to render this again, it's another $50 or something to work on the overall. But usually I give like a standard rate. For example, my video rate typically I do for like one solid edited minute of footage. That's what I quote unquote call high quality. It's usually like $100 per minute. But that's how I do it. So some people will do it like, or if I'm just filming for footage that somebody can use, and they'll use it themselves, that's $100 an hour basically of just me shooting footage and then giving them raw files. So usually, like for example, a project I'm working on right now, this guy is doing like a quick video of just explaining like what ceramic coating is on a vehicle. So I'm charging him for the actual footage of filming it and then editing it. Well, so for a 2-3 minute clip, I'm charging him $400, if that makes sense. But like,
which is a pretty decent price to be.
That's a really good price.
Yeah. So that's just an idea.
And you're also going to be like some of you guys who are listening to this, who do video work and do graphic design work, whether you're listening to it live or you're listening to it later on, you're going to run into customers who just don't understand
the thought process. Yeah.
Well, not even just the thought process, but they don't understand why it costs so much. And
correct.
And if it, and then you run into that you're going to run into a lot of this too, for anybody who's an aspiring, is that you'll run into people who don't understand where that price comes from and the skill set. Cause like they think, oh, you just kind of throw the clips together, and there's so much more that goes into it. There's so much that you have to consider, especially if you're creating content for somebody else. What is the content? How many cuts per minute? Is the music copyrighted? You know, there's all these different things that go into it. And if they want copyrighted music, well, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for licensing. You have to pay, you know, so that can increase your price by, you know, $100, $200, and you have to build that into your package. And, oh, why does this video? It's only like 4 minutes, but it cost me like $600-$700. Well, this is the world we live in. So sorry.
Yeah. Also, like a lot of it, to bounce kind of off what Eric's saying, is like I do. So on my Twitch, I also do video kind of explaining like this of my thought process of literally start to finish of a video. And once people start watching how much detail actually goes into it when it comes to framing, color correction, sequence, timing with music, it starts adding up and is like noticeably a lot easier to show somebody how much effort actually goes into it. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. Now I see why this costs $400 or $500. Kind of like what Eric was just saying. Yeah. The amount of work and detail that actually goes into it.
Cause I mean, like we all got somebody who's like, oh man, yeah, can you just like hook me up for, you know?
Yeah, the homie hookup is the death of fucking creativity. Like, don't
correct.
If your friends, dude. And I cannot stress this enough. If your friends are look at me. If your friends are doing something cool and they're trying to get paid for it, fucking pay them for it. Jesus Christ.
Preach.
What he said.
Amen.
Like, and it's you can't call me ever, because literally everybody in here I've bought shit from and do regularly, except for maybe Cory. I steal shirts from Cory a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Wayne goes, homie hookup, siege.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I like Wayne's comment of like realtors are the worst. Like $300 for a freak out. And the real estate business, I've done photos for real estate too. It's like their turnaround times are expect you to be like that. And it's like, it's good money if you can get into it, but fuck, like
that's because realtors are terrible people
for the most part.
It's
sorry if we have any realtors in the chat.
Any like I'm in sales. Any sales oriented position just automatically makes you an awful person. River Johnson, cold mustaches. Yeah, thank you. It's filling in quite nicely. It really adds the dad aesthetic. I'm digging it.
Yeah. You look like a reputable dad.
A reputable reprobate.
Yeah.
You know what, Cory? It'd be cool if you actually made it like podcast themed, where you did like a microphone of like almost a new ASAP logo of like the podcast somehow with
oh, wait a minute,
like a microphone.
Now that we've got him captive, let's get a fucking new ASAP logo. You piece
Hold
of
on.
shit.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll do. I said I was gonna do that like a week ago.
Let's go.
Yeah. So all right, that's what I'm doing.
So I'll tell you what I suck at more than anything is typography.
That's my shit.
Typography is
let's do a collaboration. Let's do one typography. One does the fucking like draw version or the logo. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Summer harvest postponed. What's the inside word? I don't know.
Bad ticket sales.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess ticket sales normally.
Or
maybe just too many conflicts with other events.
There's a lot of other events piggybacking that same weekend. Summer harvest just unfortunately fell victim to a very competitive market in a very competitive area. There's a lot of events going on that same weekend in that same like general vicinity. And it's hot and it's May at D-Day Adventure Park, which unfortunately sucks. And I think a lot of people, like I personally I was really hyped for the game, but I was not super excited to go trudging around at D-Day in the beginning of May. Because it's hot and it's sweaty. Fuck that. No. We've done that.
Come on, brother.
I've done that dance like 9 goddamn times. It's terrible.
Actually,
then smash them together.
Okay, yeah. So typography, yeah.
Yes, do the lesson on typography.
I actually love typography. Like that's ever since like high school. That was kind of like my jam. So
typography is its own. It's its own realm because like there are some logos and stuff that I'll do for people, and then it comes to like doing any type of language that's on the art piece. And it's like, there's like a few I have as my main go-to, but I wish I was better at like creating my own typography because it's it definitely gets extensive really fast.
Admittedly, I mean, obviously, like you get better by doing it more often. But like I actually have a couple books like on the bookshelf about like the theory and that shit behind typography. So
That's a class I wish I took. Yeah, I was one of those that went to art for college. Ew, but peasant. I know.
Speaking of Wayne, we need to get you out to a game again.
Yes.
So you can like run with us. That sounds fun. No, we have like a whole crew. Slowly, ASAP is becoming like a platoon-sized element, and I'm really excited for it. Just a big fucking group of weaponized morons.
That's the best way to describe ourselves.
Yes. Weapons grade weapons grade idiots. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know human come to Guardian Center in August? I've done Guardian Center in August.
I was
humid,
say,
but you ain't got shit on a 3-story roof in Texas in the middle of summer when it's 80% humidity and 115 out.
And that was the next thing I was going to kind of lead into, Cole, is like, what is the plan for ASAP game events that everybody's thinking of?
Oh, you mean like when we go to events, or
I don't know what's our next?
Or?
Yeah, what's our next? Any local games that you guys are thinking about hitting, or?
Well, it was.
I
really wanted
Division.
to go to. I really wanted
Summer
to go
Harvest.
Yeah, Summer Harvest was the plan. So now we're back on the market.
Eric, what were you saying?
Oh no, the new Battle for Los Angeles 4 happening this weekend in Georgia Air Force Base. That was one that I was really excited to go to, but it kind of crept up on me, and I didn't have enough time after my COVID shot to get tickets and flight and all the bullshit that goes with traveling. So I had to sit this one out again, which I'm not happy about.
Michael Johnson says MSW events ? No, but I know some people that are going. That like Derek, for example. I know he's got a couple listed.
Yeah,
So.
I wanted to go to the one that they're having one here at the end of the month, I think, or like next week, maybe, isn't it?
Ooh, I don't know. I thought, I don't know.
There was
That's
one. They're working on one in Oklahoma, and I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm going to be on a vacation. But I'm going to try to make one this year. That's my goal.
Will says Black Site or Copperhead ?
Copperhead, yes.
Yeah. Copperhead, we're filming our second movie there. So that's going to be a real busy week.
Movie number 2.
Whether we play or not, that's a different story.
Yes. Yeah. We're trying to get the site we need to film as early as Monday. And if that happens, then yes, we should have time to play. If not, then it's up in the air.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting trade-off because, you know, I know like for me, just the week alone being that far away from home with the baby is difficult. But I do like this idea of a large like an ASAP squad.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I'm like, because we basically did that at Copperhead the year before.
Yes.
I mean,
that's what it was.
Yeah, essentially, except for a couple miscreants.
Cass, Derek, yeah,
that was a goon squad. We had a good time with that. So I always love having a big group of people that I actually know in the same squad.
Yes,
because nothing's worse than herding stray cats or being stuck in a group with like somebody you kind of know, like you're just like there to play. But ideally, given that we'll have the cast there from QRF, that's a fucking wrecking crew. God, if we can get Jessen out in the field, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That guy's a monster.
He's a big old boy.
Jacob Wendell from Task Force Podcast in chat. What's up, Jacob?
So Cory, any like small insider stuff that you want to talk about Siege at all with?
I got the first look at the CGI that Wayne's brother is doing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And if you know anything about CGI, like it takes multiple passes. Like you have a really rough pass that looks like a PlayStation 2 video game, and then you start adding in all these different layers, the lighting, reflective surfaces, blah, 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 blah. And dude, I'll tell you, it's going to be sick. I can already tell just with the rough pass that he put together, it's going to be I mean, it's going to be Hollywood level stuff. It's good. Like it's really, really
Nice.
good. It might have been a breach. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
So, yeah. It was really cool.
nice. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the after. I'm just excited to see like a full edit of the film, much less like the finished product.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may not get to see it before it's finished.
I didn't think I would.
Wah, wah,
You don't.
wah.
You don't.
To me, it would take away from the experience of seeing it the first time in a theater.
That's fair.
So, because I think if I remember right, I think I saw the rough of Overlord before it came out. I may be lying about that. I might have gotten a copy of it the night after the premiere, but it's a cool feeling seeing yourself on a big screen. So I don't want to jip anybody that opportunity.
Fine.
Plus,
I do. It's really hard. Like going this length of time. Like it's really just kind of a kick, and then you think like, oh, there's probably another 3 to 4 months, maybe 5, and just it's so rough. I don't know what I describe it. Like there's nothing to pass the time to fill that hole.
No, I mean, and it's rough for me too because I mean it's
your baby.
It's my project and it's Wayne's project, and trust me, we're both. I mean, yeah, he's probably more patient than me because he's been in the industry longer. But I mean, I want it to be out yesterday, but I also know if we did that, it would be trash. So we're gonna wait and do it right, I guess.
I guess.
Well, I don't want to, but
or whatever.
yeah, I guess we'll do it.
Well, I
that
guess in the realm of gearing up for a game, I remember we had been talking about taking our comms like way more seriously, just so we could wipe our butt cheeks across Woodcock's face at Summer Harvest 2. Since that's not happening now, like I'm trying to do upgrades to my kit, as you can see behind me. I'm trying to do upgrades to a lot of things this year, and like really like dive feet first back into playing a lot. What are some upgrades or some additions you guys have made so far in the year, or like what kind of like goal wise do you think you've reached?
Nothing really.
We bought those tack skies, which so far we haven't been super impressed with.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 new bow fangs. I bought some brand new direct action gear pouches, so now I can carry 5 instead of the 3 in 1, and then the rest on my belt. Like I want to move everything kind of back up onto my chest rig because I like it better. But other than that, I don't know. That's probably it as far as comms go.
Just getting because you got 2 new battle fangs, which I got 2 new ones too,
Yeah.
and you got the whiskey 32
Disco 32.
Yeah,
Disco 32s. Yeah. And
okay, and those are like the weavable, or like
yes,
it's just like it's like a rope.
They're vest mounted radios. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I know Woody's got like a real hard on for those.
Yeah, he swears by them, so I'm gonna give him a shot.
I mean, I walked away with most of what I wanted to get this year off of the Siege set.
Yeah.
My belt rigs, or I bought it more likely than not for that movie. Like I've got a helmet now, which I need to get a tan one because I can't wear multicam black fucking anywhere. I've got a belt rig now, got the sidearm, got the mags, I got fucking all this shit. I got that LBX Armistice 2 off of Cory, which I love that carrier. That is a fantastic product.
Yes.
But what I really, really, really dig right now is I picked up the Unobtainium Gear Dank Robber chest rig, and dude, it slaps. I really like that thing. It's neat because I think I've got it over here actually.
Well, Cole's searching for that. So just back to the art, Cory. So I see now that you've added some color, obviously, to what you're doing. And so now, are you doing some like fine shading there on the left side of the like upper head? Is what I'm seeing you do partially.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of for like patches, like you do kind of hard lines when it comes to shading. If I can kind of zoom in, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
So if you do it right, it kind of gives the I don't know, the effect of being kind of a more detailed, shading job, but it's really not. I just kind of pick out like a direction for my light source, which I always favor the left side of my drawings. So I always pick the light source to be coming in from the right. So you just kind of got to think about like the bumps, the surfaces, the stuff like that, how it would look, and just kind of guess. I mean, it's a cartoon, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but
right. But light sourcing is a huge thing that I've noticed a lot of photographers, even in Photoshop, will mess up. Because
Yes.
I feel like it's a pretty big subject. Because like they'll try to do like a lens flare, but it's on the wrong side, or
Right.
like or something to show that the sun was there, but it's not. So yeah, light direction is super key to get something to feel more realistic and therefore do better. So
Yes. Yeah. And what I'll do is after I'm done with this layer, I'll do another layer where I take it one shade darker. And that kind of, to me, it puts it over the top and it looks real good. That's what I've done with all the ones I've done recently, all the skull requests that I've had.
gotcha.
I do like drawing skulls, I'm not going to lie. I just picked something that'd be easy for tonight, so I didn't biff it live.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah.
how's your progress if you can show it at all?
Yeah, so right now, I'm trying to find because we had talked about doing a revamp of the logo and making it more, I guess, like futuristic cyberpunk,
Yes.
if you would. So
Ooh.
one of the cool things with that aesthetic is that there's a lot of angles and it gives you a lot of freedom on how you can piece things together. So right now I'm working on doing a vertical, so that way it's not going to be across the chest, it'll be down the front, or this would be good for like a back logo as well. So right now all I have is just the rectangle, and I'm building the surrounding border, so how the ASAP logo has the brackets on either side. So I'm just kind of modifying that, making it a little asymmetric, so it's just got kind of
Yeah.
so like working with that, and then now that I kind of have a box to work inside of, then I can kind of fill in the gaps and making your like in doing that kind of stuff.
So it looks like from your board that you just showed that you have your asymmetrical I'll call them quotations, I guess, or like
Yeah.
the squared parentheses of what you're working on, and then so you're just filling in that black box area of like when you actually start doing the letters.
So what basically it's kind of like the same way you would look at like if you're an interior designer, or if you are doing any kind of graphic design in general, you'll look at an empty space and you can kind of envision how you're going to fill it. There's some ways that some people like to fill all the available space, and there's another one, people who like more negative space, where there's space with nothing in it. And so it's finding that balance that is aesthetically pleasing, that it's a combination of filling space and your empty space. So
nice.
Hey, Cory, we got an actual art-related question for you in the chat. Kenneth Freeman saying, question for Cory, my son is getting into digital art in school. What tablet would be good for a beginner that won't have to be replaced in a couple of years?
Man, the iPad. Honestly, I bought iPads for my kids. Cheaper ones, the older Airs. They're like $400, and you can get the old pencils for them, and they're still great. My daughter draws and animates, and she's 10. So like it's great. There's a ton of good tools on it. Procreate's on there, which I can't talk highly enough about Procreate. And I'm not an Apple guy, but Samsung tablets suck. The Note, which is what I use and I do a lot of art on, is great, but their tablets are just garbage. They don't put a lot of effort into them. But this is the 12-inch iPad Pro, which I think is that what you have too, Punk?
I think it's like it's not the 12-inch, it's the one right below it. And I think you have the next. So does yours use the C port, or does yours have the Lightning charger?
The C.
Yeah, so you have the next gen.
Okay.
I don't have that one. So
I want to say like there's ones that are more expensive than this one because they have more
storage.
Yeah, storage.
Yeah.
I want to say this one was like $1,200. So
oh wow.
But I don't think it's going to outdate itself for probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's super worth it. Like mine, when I bought mine was just like right around 900, almost $1,000.
And
wow.
Plus the pencil.
And surprised you.
And I think you're looking at another, probably what is it, 100 or 200 for the pen or the pencil?
So if you're getting the older one, I think it's $100.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I use my tablet setup almost like 98% of the time over my PC setup. So,
Yeah,
to
you always
me,
want to get something that's like you can use for other things as well outside of like it's good to have a dedicated device, but it's even better if you get something that can be like can absorb some of the other load.
Yes.
and your iPad can travel with you. It's super light, very convenient, very powerful. Like I also edit video on my iPad, so like it's very versatile in what it can do, and in my opinion, has paid for itself several times over with the amount of projects that I use with it. So
Faded Pilot Prop says, "Fuck, I'm late." Hey, Faded, what do you
Yeah,
do
in
for
more
a lot
ways
of
than
your
one,
art?
boy.
What do you do for your art? Like anytime that you're designing anything, what program do you use? Or is it computer based? Or are you using a tablet? What are you using?
While we're letting homie type that up, this is the unobtainium gear dank rubber I was talking about. If you're gonna get some kit right now, this thing slaps. It's like $90. Grenade holder on one side, radio holder on the other side. It's got a triple M4 double stacked with a triple pistol pouch on it, and it's dope. I love this thing. This thing's fantastic. Cannot recommend it highly enough.
speaking of
Faded
new
says
gear,
it's in his head. Lol. But how do you put
Uh,
that to paper or digitally? Go ahead, Eric.
no, I was gonna say, speaking of new gear, I am in the market for what's considered grown-up gear because I have either mix match shit, speed QB stuff, and for the QRF film, that's not gonna fly. So I need to get like normal looking kit.
We're
Can we?
corrupting him.
Can we? Can we? By the way, does it have to be plate carrier or can it be chest rig?
Play carrier.
No, that's fine. That's okay because if it's plate carrier, then that's going to be easier for me. But if it's plate carrier, then
we probably just need to start getting the kit ready for that because I'm assuming it's going to be tan gear mostly, right, Corey? Or do you have a
Yeah,
color
it's
preference?
a lot of tan and multicam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of which I have none anymore. All of my shit is fucking Ranger Green and Moss Gray these days.
Yeah, so I gotta for sure go and pick up or look into some multicam or whatever.
For you guys asking about Zens, nicotine addiction's a bitch, and I highly recommend not getting into it because I don't think anybody else here has a nicotine addiction on the show besides me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like my cigars, but I'm definitely not addicted to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I didn't even think about that, Corey. We probably need to start like getting an idea of what you want the gear to look like for QRF here in the near future. So we can start buying stuff.
Yeah, we're not quite ready to pull the trigger and start ramping it up yet, but yeah, when that time comes, we'll definitely have a more accurate list than we did for Siege. Everybody had a little bit of freedom,
just a little bit,
but you'll have a lot less.
Yeah, take that freedom away after Jessen spent like 30 minutes ripping patches off of Mendoza.
Yeah, dude, dudes are walking patch factory.
Oh my god, dude! We found a new one like every other time he turned around. We're like, where did you? Why is that inside your left ass cheek? How did you get that there?
Yeah, no, we did good though. Everything I've seen so far is extremely promising. It's gonna be a good film.
I mean,
everybody did a good job.
I guess.
So, Corey, I'm just curious, is this something that you could actually make into an ASAP logo that would be cool to like present later?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be line art when it's done. So you guys could do whatever you want with it.
Well, I'm thinking, I was like, I wonder if you did throw in like a microphone or I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else would be good.
We make fun of skulls way too much for us to have a skull for a logo.
Or maybe
which we do.
Or maybe because we make fun of it so much, we have to have it as a logo.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Self-deprecating.
I don't know. We've had some pretty gangster ideas. I miss our shorts, man. That's the biggest downfall of 2020 to me is the fact we didn't get to shoot a whole lot more of our little short intros.
Yeah,
we've got an absolute banger of one right now, and we've got a bunch stocked up from a couple years back, but I miss making new ones. We need to do that.
Well, hopefully we have time at Copperhead to get something together.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we better. I'm gonna be big mad.
Just got to get the gang back
Skull
together.
is the big gay.
Who said that?
Faded.
Yeah, skulls are super, super lame. I love them. Nothing says you're a real cool guy like a skull.
So listen, I want you to do a logo, but what I'm thinking is a skull, right? But not just any skull. Like I think the skull should be like maybe it has like another skull on top of it. Like what do you think?
Oh, like a double skull, yeah. I've never
Yeah,
heard that
yeah,
one
it's
before,
a
man.
double skull, and then but on so it's like Grim Reaper themed, right? So it's
Yeah.
got two skulls, Grim Reaper themed. There's some kind of reference to an AR in there, but and then also I need an American flag.
Oh, an AR-15. That's real original, man. I like
Yeah,
that. I like
and
that.
a tank, and then something about an ops squad. So if you could make that happen tomorrow, that'd be cool.
Yeah. For what? $20?
Yeah, no, actually, I was hoping you can maybe just do it for free because we're cool, we're homies, and that would mean a lot to me.
Only if you promise. Are you gonna repost? Are you gonna repost it and tag me?
No. Well, so I will. I'll tell you I will. But when it comes time to my end of the deal, I'm gonna have to go ahead and flake out on that.
Yeah, that's another big thing that a lot of creator people don't get enough credit for is literally credit on their own work, which is mind blowing. It's bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wayne says, I'm still waiting for you guys to invite me to chat on the podcast someday. Oh God.
Why?
Look at why is Wayne
why?
always asking for clout favors?
I know,
What the
dude.
hell, Wayne?
He's so needy.
So needy.
He's like, Cory, come out and make a movie for me. And I'm like, for free? God, whatever, man. I guess so.
Oh, I suppose we do need to get Wayne on for sure, though.
Yes.
If nothing else, to like bask in the glory of whatever he's gonna fucking rig up as a webcam that's gonna take the entire power grid down just to turn on.
Hey, Wayne, can you run the FX6 as a webcam?
Dude. Holy fuck, that'd be sweet.
That'd be hilarious.
He said, "What a dick." Oh,
Well, never
Wayne.
mind. If not with language like that, you're never.
Yeah, gee, this is a wholesome family show, Wayne.
Yeah,
fucking
what do you
piece of
mean?
Shit.
There are 40-year-old children watching this.
Wayne says he
Literally.
can. Wayne says he can use the FX6 as a webcam, so I want to see that.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that too.
Even though like StreamYard will not let me produce that in 4K. So that'll be an interesting.
He'll look really good, and then the rest of us will just have to pretend.
Yeah. We'll be able to see him. He'll look awesome.
Yes.
But they will not be able to.
Yeah, I was gonna say it gets about as good as you can get with like the camera setups that me and Cory have for mirrorless.
Yeah, I just need a better lens.
Yeah, you're on an A732, right?
Yep, a fixed 35 1.4. So
Yeah, but I don't. You choose, Carl, and I don't know if this is like a style choice, but you choose that weird washed out
a little
kind of
bit,
like
a little
picture
bit.
profile.
It's ISO. Yeah, as I say, the picture profile and the ISO I choose are so that you do have more focus on me, not so much of the background, obviously.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just for something like like I like a little more like poppy
Color.
to the
Yeah,
color.
no, like for example, your palette, I mean, you naturally have a lot more color in your background than I do to begin with, but I try to focus it more on like the subject, not so much of the background when it comes to
Yeah,
this
see,
kind of stuff.
I need a lot going in the background so you don't pay attention to what I'm doing.
That's fair.
I do like the wall setup though.
And I'm lazy, and I typically leave my picture profile pretty simple. But when I get to certain shoots, I'll obviously change it for what is needed.
Yeah,
So,
Wayne had to fix me. Mine was terrible.
yeah. And honestly, I'm not like a super big camera setting nerd. I mean, I know settings that you need, but for certain situations, when it comes to picture profile and color to get your best, that's something I'm still working on for like
YouTube.
post edits. Yeah. Well, no, just post for like Lightroom and for Premiere. That's something I need to work on too. Is that's some subject I want to work on more is color correction. So,
But yeah, moral of that story or of this is figure out what you like, run with it, and then you can create your own fucking content and quit bumming your buddies for it.
true.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how's that bummed content coming? Punk and Cory.
What are we bumming?
The ASAP logo.
So right now, this is so. I wish I had more to show you, like what Corey's got, even though he's like way more detailed and mine's just it's what you would consider just kind of like weird blocks. But here's where I've got what I've got so far.
What are we looking at here? Because we are our favorite airsoft promotion.
Fucking.
Oh.
So just the
Oh.
A, and then so what it does is I just get kind of like these basic shapes in there, and then I can kind of subtract once I get the kind of feel that I'm looking for, and I can go from there. I wish my process was a lot more streamlined, but it's not.
Speaking of, on the subject of art, there is a request to see Juicy Smollett
Juicy Smollett.
Oh Jesus!
because he is art.
Juicy Smollett is beautiful.
Juicy Smollett is a magnificent creation
Yeah,
and
see,
deserves reverence.
and that's one thing Punk excels at outside of drawing, which he's also very good at. Is
Just putting ideas
vision.
together.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Well, like who, like, because this was initially going to be like an kind of like an ASAP thing, and then we were like, dude, that's too good to use for our shitty show. Like, look at this, it's so cool.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy.
Ooh, there it is. Damn, the little grip on it too. Ooh.
Dude, the lever action. Oh my god, I love that gun so much. That physically hurts me how bad I want that.
So on it, you've got there's so much on this fucking thing, but basically you got the yield ammo counter on there.
That is sick.
Everything's all hardwired. The next thing I have to do is I have to hardwire the battery, and the battery is actually going to go in here.
Smart.
It'll hold a 9-volt, and then on the side it's going to hold your 12 grams.
Mhm.
And
Like how similar to my setup is, or
kinda. So
Yeah.
It'll hold spare 12 grams. It's not going to actually. It's
okay.
It's not going to be internal, because actually you're going to like this. So 1 second.
All right. I'm back to Cory. It looks like he's doing detail or more shadowing.
no, this is just like the small details, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. You know, I don't want both sides to be exactly the same. So
Yeah.
I've kind of gone in and done some stuff to kind of make them look a little different.
So here's the CO2 setup that I have. This is basically a Polar Star reg, very very streamlined. I also have a speed reg for bigger tanks, but this is made by Indian Creek Designs. This is a paintball product, but it's basically a quick release. So you pop the CO2 in here, and then you just close this, and that's it. That's all you got to do.
That's so much easier than the Storm.
And then all you got to do is pop this, and it ejects out like a shotgun shell.
Wow, that's so cool.
Like here.
It's so much easier in Wolverines because, so you guys know, Wolverine. So like my sniper, for example, has a compression like press fit style where you throw in your CO2 gram into the canister, and then you take the cap and press fit it over, and that's what engages the CO2 to be punctured. But man, that is cool.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
the reasoning behind this is because I wanted this build to be a very speed like
Oriented.
It's
Yeah.
more for assault than sniping. And this is basic.
It is a breaching assault sniper rifle.
So like I mean, just like your HPA, this is the lever. Hold on, let me go. There we go. This
Just
is
slap.
it. Just this little. But I wanted to
Oh,
be
so
able
good.
to, you get like 100 shots or whatever. I don't know how many fucking come in these things.
So it's a,
I think
it's a
usually mine's
room-clearing
about
Molotov.
80.
Yeah,
Mine's
so,
about 80, but I have a pretty high pressure set in mine.
So just pop this motherfucker in there, right, just like that, and then that's it. Now,
So is it punctured now? Wow.
It's pressurized. It's punctured. I'm showing. Here's my. You can see.
Oh, that is so cool.
And then
Oh,
when it's
man.
done, hang on, it'll probably gas out.
Whoa!
That's it.
Dinner and a show.
That is so
All right.
cool.
Dinner and a show.
I like it, dude. That Juicy is such a cool fucking idea, and I'm
And-
glad that we've
and
gotten
the-
to watch it grow.
And another reason why I did that too is because I don't like traveling with HPA tanks. It's a pain in the ass. So like now I can swap out CO2 canisters easy as fuck, and then I can buy them at any Walmart. So I'm not
Exactly. So your point on that is that it's easy to basically take the gun if you have to go on a plane to instead of have these tanks that have to be checked for nothing being filled in them. You literally just go pick up 12 grams before the game. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's badass. Yeah, because like traveling with the tank is a fucking detriment, and it will weigh on your sanity.
Yeah, and
although apparently you can get breech pins into your carry-on, we found out.
whoops.
Yeah. Yeah. If it doesn't look like something they're looking for, they've got no fucking idea. What's up, Tristan? The meme lord himself.
So, Punk, can you show more on the typography of what you have so far?
So I haven't made much progress because I've been showing off Juicy. So what I kind of like to do is once I have asymmetric is important, but at the same time, sorry, my hands are like right in front of my camera. I wish I had actually, I'm just gonna do this. You can watch what the fuck I'm doing.
There we go. Yeah, Tristan, that clip you sent to the page Instagram was wild. Kid comes around the corner and he shoots him with like one of the 40 mics, and it like a little bit of spark happens there for a second. It's kind of fucking cool. I'm really curious what caused that. If that was just like cavitation, or if it was just, I'm assuming it's just the green gas catching. But what started that? I don't know.
The tight shot by Corey Haynes.
So that's probably about as far as I want to be able to get tonight. But
Cole, can you full blow that up real quick?
Yeah, can you blow me full?
I will always opt
Thanks,
to blow.
bro.
Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that thing.
So anyway, ooh, look at that depth of field. We'll just rotate it back and forth.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Maybe do a little one of these. Really
So
get
if you want speed and efficiency in your skulls, hit up Corey because he's
a
He
skull
gives
an hour.
great helmet.
a skull an hour. Yeah,
That's my guarantee.
you could just have that be that's your you could do your own like Instagram. It's just called Skull an Hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That is awesome.
I'm happy with it. It's that'll be $250.
And then to give everyone an idea, there's $250 right there. That's what $250 gets you, to varying degrees, depending on the artist.
Yeah.
But this is
Honestly,
a rough idea of like.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I will change the price depending on how much I hate your idea.
Yeah,
Or how it's down to what you're good at, right? So if it's something that's out of your realm that you're going to take more time on, it's going to cost more.
Well, I mean,
You
if it's a cool idea, like, all right, let's go for it, and we'll mess around with it, and we'll go back and forth. But if it's just terrible, like, nah, I'm out.
yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna. Well, I'll still do it, but the price is going to go up astronomically because I know it's going to be a pain. So if somebody comes to me with like people will come to you with like some wacky freaking ideas, and it's going to be super, super hard to work with them. And
So-
you get a feel for somebody. Like, I like to talk to people for a while.
Some
and
customers.
And I always say, hey, write down like 10 ideas that you would like to see represented in your logo and send it to me. And if they can't do that, like, I know we're going to have issues, because what's going to happen is they're going to have one idea. I'm going to draw that one idea, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I was thinking maybe like this, and this. and it's going to take forever.
And they expect all those edits to be done.
And
free
not
of
only
charge.
that, but they're almost never going to be happy with it.
Yes.
Well, and the other thing too is like when we're now getting more into like branding, I guess you could say a lot of it less is more. So like I was saying, like now if Cory was actually going to make that into something that he can use online that he wanted to use as a product, maybe he would simplify it a little bit because like I said, less is more. Like example, obviously everybody knows like the Nike logo, right? So it's just a thought out process of actually what makes a logo stand out that's so iconic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But
so for right. Okay. So for example, right now I'm having issues with like my actual like functions working properly. So one of the
cool.
things, it's great. It makes me super excited. But it's like one of the things you can do is to make sure that all your lines are in the same direction. See, like right now it's not wanting to zoom out as much. Is that you can like if I draw a if you draw a line
Mhm.
and you hold it, if you don't suck it, your hands have Parkinson's. Draw a line, hold it, and it will straighten out. So now you have a perfect line like this. And now, this is varying degrees of rotation, but you can like you touch your fingers down and then it will snap. But for some reason, mine's not doing that. See, like
Fun.
Yeah. So it's garbage. So I don't like sometimes you run into shit like that. I don't know if it's the glass that I have on here or what. So yeah.
Now, do both of your guys' iPads have screen protectors at all?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you use the same one as me, Punk. There's one that's called Real Feel or Paper Feel or whatever. It feels like paper. It almost has like a rough finish to it. So
no,
that you,
I
okay.
need to get that. I need to get that. That's been on my like list of shit I need to do because right now mine's just regular glass.
Yeah.
And my pen slides. I've got zero like.
I don't know if I can show it, but it's like
if I turn this off, you can see it's like a matte finish. It's not like you look at the gloss on his, mine's almost matte, and it's almost like a microscopic grain or whatever, and it creates drag, like the natural drag of like pen and paper.
Yeah.
So
it's a screen cover.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's called
Interesting.
it's called like paper. I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna.
Nice
the division
dynamo,
game
by
was
the way.
the division game was postponed, faded because you didn't have our props ready. on time.
We told them that your props weren't going to be ready, so they just said no.
It's all you. It's all your fault.
Oh, I'm not stupid. It is called Paper Like,
Oh,
Nice.
and they're $40, so they're not like super cheap. But I've had mine for probably 6 months, and I've probably drawn, like 50, 60 pictures on it, and it's not like wearing out at all. So
See, like,
they're
I'm
super
trying to-
highly rated.
I'm trying to see like how I take two fingers and I rotate.
Yeah.
Like it's rotating right now, kind of. But if I like, sometimes it doesn't want to do it. Now it's doing it because I'm drawing attention to it. But like,
Why was the division game postponed? We're assuming just ticket sales. They're competing with like 3 other events that weekend, so I think they're going to move to a better weekend.
could be underlying issues too. We're not sure. That'll be up to OWT whether they want to release exactly why or not. But end of the day, it sucks, and we're all very disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we were looking forward to that one. We went all out on our kit. We're still going to do something with that kit. Wink.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Ooh. Do you want to talk about that at all? Or?
No, because it's not like in stone yet.
You
Might be doing something fun at the end of the month.
Uh-huh.
I watched the complete walkthroughs of 1 and 2, so I get it.
So the biggest thing I could say is if you want to watch the promotional material for the games, because that's where I got the most of that atmosphere. Oddly enough, the trailers. Ubisoft makes excellent trailers, and then put none of that into the game.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Sucks.
I remember like the big controversy was like they had like these phenomenal graphics, and then whenever it came down, it was dumbed down so much.
They do that with everything, but the first division game was
does.
but the first division game was the first time I can like really remember seeing an incredible E3 walkthrough, and then the actual game came out, and it was like,
yeah, Yeah, that one. I think the first one was the one that kind of ticked everybody off and
It
kind
did.
of made them super.
Well,
super
because
sus.
they did the same thing with Wildlands, where you had this really cool world and you have this really neat open concept idea and a really fun game to play, and the story mode sucks balls.
Yeah.
The dialogue sucks balls.
Yeah.
The fucking
Well, and what-
atmosphere sucks balls. Like,
Well,
it's
and
all
what-
terrible.
And something I noticed watching the walkthroughs was like, you find like these little,
It's clickbait, exactly.
well, it's like the little videos and things you see like through your communicator that kind of shows you what happened are like all the same. It's always like somebody getting murdered in the street, like over and over and over. Yeah,
And then,
like
you see the little audio thing like
yeah,
spike.
and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, and like,
All right.
so
Brandon
Yeah,
says
there's
it's
no
like new
context.
age YouTube clickbait. That's true.
yeah,
I used to really like the first division, and then once you got past like what was it, level 30, they changed everything about how your leveling
Mhm.
system
Well,
worked, and I just thought it was garbage.
if there's one thing I've noticed, especially in the past two or 3 years, it's betas and pre-orders are how like companies get you. Because if you pre-order, there's nothing saying that they have to deliver it on their initial delivery time. So you could be waiting forever. I
Or
mean,
deliver the product they promised.
ask Wayne about his camera. He did get his camera through another route, but I mean, he's still in a line for another one, and he's been in line for other things. I've been in line for some pre-order stuff, and then like betas. Once they make their hundreds of millions of dollars, what's motivating them to finish that game?
I tell you what's a fun game that we could actually all play together is, and I was telling Carl about this, is Outriders is actually really fun.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
Shut the
Rage
fuck
Shadow
up. You shut the
This
fuck up.
podcast
Yeah.
is sponsored by Rage.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But no, Outriders is actually really fun. It's you take like the looting and shit of Destiny and you put like the combat from like Gears of War with a little bit of Mass Effect in there. And a little bit of Warframe sprinkled on top, but it's a 4-player cross-plat co-op game. I've been really enjoying it, surprisingly enough. It's one of those games where like I bought it and I was like, nah, this is gonna suck. And then I played it for a bit and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I get it. This is fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm about my 90s nostalgia of playing Age of Empires. That's all.
I'm terrible at that game. I tried to play it. I played it with you, and I got my ass stomped. I got raided so fucking fast in the beginning. It was like,
You weren't bad. You weren't bad for somebody who's tried it for like their second
Twice.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Corey, I didn't even know you were a fan of the game. Or like
Of what?
I Age of Empires. I didn't even know. Like,
Oh,
when you
dude,
mentioned,
that used to be my jam.
Valheim's
Yeah.
fun too, Braden. I like
Dude,
that.
I used to play all the real-time strategy. I bet you I've played real-time strategy games you've never heard of.
probably.
like KK&D.
Nope. Yeah, never heard of it.
What about Dark Rain?
Nope.
Oh.
Like I said, I've
Total-
been
wait,
literally
wait.
Age of Empires. That's it.
Total Annihilation?
No.
I'm done.
Well, the only other real time strategy game I've ever played, which is turn based and real time, is Total War. Any of the Total War series, because
War,
it's all
okay.
turn based,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
not a big fan
obviously
of
the
turn-based.
battles are.
Just
No.
remember, Carl, underneath that lesbian haircut is the heart of a true nerd.
It has nothing to do with a haircut. Okay,
so
the haircut's
fucking
fine.
self-conscious about that
You,
haircut.
you douche canoe. Notice that Cole has exhibited no artistic ability tonight.
I'm
because-
terrible. I'm not an
You-
artist. I never
you
claimed to
bag.
be. I never claimed to be an artist.
Listen, I'm taking my stupid haircut and I'm going to work, guys. I got to go to work.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I love you
I've-
guys, and
we've heard this.
I'll see you next week.
All right. With that, oh, by the way, KWA sponsored OWT fucking Vanilla Gay. Toodaloo, nerds.